Depeche Mode with Delta Machine. So Depeche Mode is one of the electronic music legends. They've been around since 1980 and have produced about 15 albums to date. Let me check on that just to make sure. Nope, it's actually 13 albums, but still, that's quite a run. This band is well known for hits such as Enjoy the Silence, Policy of Truth, People Are People, Strange Love, all those great songs, and their sound has very much evolved over the years. At first, with their first couple of albums, it was like, the typical like 80s synth pop sound with songs like Just Can't Get Enough and all that. And later on, with albums such as Black Celebration and a little bit with Some Great Reward, you can sense that Depeche Mode was changing up and evolving their sound and going into more of a darker mood, so to speak, especially with Black Celebration. And albums like Music for the Masses and Violator would really bring this band up over the top. And they would continue to experiment with albums such as Songs of Faith and Devotion and Ultra, going for a more modern style. And with albums such as this one right here, Play the Angel, Sounds of the Universe, they've been going for a more traditional sound, much like the sound that they had in the 1980s, like the early 1980s, but with a more of a modern flavor, more of a modern production, courtesy of Mr. Ben Hillier. Sorry if I mispronounced that. But yeah, this is their third album, produced by Ben Hillier, whatever. Sorry again. The only difference between this album and some of the previous albums is that Flood actually returns to the Depeche Mode fold, and he actually mixes the album, which actually makes this an overall improvement over the previous album. Sounds of the Universe, I thought was okay. I didn't really like. I wasn't really into it as much as I was with like the classic Depeche Mode releases. But with Flood returning into the production team, since Flood is probably my favorite Depeche Mode producer out of all of them, he actually really does contribute to the sound, and I think Depeche Mode really go back to their roots a little bit with this one, even more so than Sounds of the Universe. Sounds of the Universe, sure, they have the same sort of technology that they used on their first couple of albums, but it didn't really feel the same. It felt a little off kilter, and just, yeah, it just felt kind of awkward. But on here, I could definitely sense more of the classic Depeche Mode sound, even with the new technology being used here. And this album sounds like it has a lot more melody than the previous album, which sounded more like robotical beats and bops to me. I mean, I was pretty disappointed with the last single, Wrong. I didn't get into it as much, but I heard the first single off of this album, Heaven, and I was very much impressed with it. It's a beautiful song. It's has a very infectious lead, verse, and chorus from Dave Gahan. Of course, he is one of the greatest singers that I've ever heard outside of metal music, and yeah, they really bring this song to life. This is a true highlight of the album, but that's not to say that any of the other songs are all that bad either. Secret to the End is another great one. I really like Alone. Goodbye is a very good closer. Sort of reminds me of Little 15 a little bit from Music for the Masses, which is very, very awesome. I think Should Be Higher also was a really good one. I really like that. But yeah, it's nice to hear a lot more melody and songwriting, like more musicianship being heard in this album. Like it's the most musicianship and melody that I've heard since Playing the Angel, because again, I didn't really like Sounds of the Universe all that much. Much of it just sounded like just keyboard beeps and bop noises, and yeah, I couldn't really get into that one. But I'm glad that Flood was able to contribute to like the album's mixing, because he really brought something great to the table here. Again, Flood is probably my favorite Depeche Mode producer. He's produced Violator and Songs of Faith and Devotion, and he really knows how to bring this album to life. And the album, like sonically, I think I've heard from Martin Gore that it's actually a mix of Violator and Songs of Faith and Devotion, which is why I get that feeling. And yeah, no wonder Flood decided to mix it, because he produced those two albums for Depeche Mode back in the past. This really isn't much of a complaint, but for those who really can't get into like electronic music, especially like more modern sounding electronic music, you may notice that the production seems a bit compressed. That's kind of the thing with like more electronic music of today. I wouldn't call this as good as Violator or Songs of Faith and Devotion or Music for the Masses. I think those had much better production, but here I don't mind it too much. I don't mind a little bit of compression. That's kind of the thing with electronic music to begin with. But for the audiophiles out there, they might be a little turned off by just the way it sounds. But I personally don't have a problem with it. But for the audiophiles, you might find something to nitpick about. But overall, yeah, very solid, very good album overall. I really do enjoy this one. My throat's sort of killing me right now because I made a vocal cover last night that pretty much scraped away at my cords, but that didn't stop me from wanting to speak about this album, because I've always wanted to share my thoughts on it, like whenever I heard that Depeche Mode was releasing a new album, and they are by far my favorite electronic music band of all time, period, hands down. But yeah, really, really like this one. I'd have to give it about maybe a 7.75 to an 8 out of 10. Something in that range. In fact, no, fuck it. I'm just going to give it an 8 out of 10. Very, very solid album. Very good. A big step up from Sounds of the Universe. And, yeah, I can't wait to see what these guys will be doing later on. I hope I can see them live when they come here in, like, September or something like that. I know the tickets for them can be very, very expensive. It's not like some of the other bands I've seen live, because these guys are way, way more popular. But yeah, I hope I could see them live sometime. That'd be great. I really would love that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching my review, and have a good day.